Hi, I'm Ben. I like Kill Team. I'm back from KTO, and yes, I want to talk about it.
I don't even know what to say.
What's up, guys? We have just... Wait, we is me, and right there, that is my battle brother, Sam. You've heard me talk about him on the channel before. He's here with me. We're at Baltimore, which is important because tomorrow is the first day of Kill Team Open, which is just wild and nuts and crazy. And it is like, what time is it? It's just now 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. on Friday. The event starts tomorrow, so we have the whole day. I think we're going to meet up with the Command Point boys later for dinner. Other than that, I don't have any plans. I think I'm going to go snoop around, see if I can maybe find Sheldon or Steve or something, just to say hi. I don't know if they're here yet or not.
Yeah, but I did so much for my
Sheldon, how we doing?
It's a thing.
I'm recording. You recording me.
Howard. So meta.
Whoa.
You're recording him. The boards are like a little bit too big because these aren't full 3 foot. They're like a little bit shorter.
What's up, guys? It is late Friday night, 12:40, I guess actually early Saturday morning, and it's been a great first pre-day, to the event. Bumped into Sheldon early this morning and got to help him set up a little bit, and then just honestly, mostly just been hanging with people, meeting people who showed up early, which has been a ton of fun. I got to meet everybody for the first time, but I got to hang out with Isaac. That was cool. My buddy Isaac, met him for the first time in real life. Hung out with Ryan and Shane from Command Point. Got tacos with them. And Alec, I got to meet Janice. That was really cool. Got tacos again. A lot of tacos with Sheldon and Ben and Chris. And, just cool people who showed up to help volunteer. Shout out. And then I got to meet a few people from the channel who you guys have been watching, which is just wild. Shout out to Andrew, Ben, Neil, and anybody else on this first pre-day who showed up to volunteer. Guys, it's been great. Can't lie, it's been great. So pretty cool stuff. Excited for that. Excited to meet everybody tomorrow when everybody will be here. It's just been really cool. Guys, I'm gonna get to bed, and we will come back tomorrow for more video of the actual event starting. It's been great so far. I'm expecting even better, cooler, doper things over the next 2 days. 2 days of Kill Team, which is just awesome. So, that's going to do it for tonight. And I will, I guess, see you in the morning.
It is Saturday at 7:30 a.m. I forgot to set my alarm, and so I'm glad I woke up at 7:40. I'm going to go down and get some breakfast. I'm going to see who we bump into, and gotta get some coffee.
Hey man, how's it going, buddy?
Good, man.
Welcome to the Open. We got an Open happening.
Hey, very cool. You guys ready? You excited?
We're maybe ready, but we're very excited.
Future Ben, the Battle Bro here. I'll be popping in from time to time just to fill in the gaps and connect the dots. So the plan going into KTO was to day one during the championship tournaments. I was going to hang back. I was going to get as much footage as possible for a video and all that kind of stuff. Maybe even grab some interviews off the cuff. But it ended up not being able to do that because at the end of round one, David, the TO, he was like, "Hey man, somebody just dropped. Would you mind filling in?" And I had told him the night before because there were talks of maybe somebody wouldn't be able to make it. So I said, "Hey, listen, if you need somebody, you can tap me on the shoulder and I will volunteer as tribute." And so like I said, after before during round 1, he was like, "Hey, someone's gonna drop. Can you do this?" And I said yes, for the love of the game and love of KTO. So he asked me what I was bringing, and I either had Vet Guard or Compendium Guard. I probably should have gone Compendium Guard just because it would have been easier on my brain, and I had done 0 prep. But I chose Vet Guard just because it's a better team, and I figured I could use all the help I could get. So I'm not gonna lie, I was intimidated because I've never played in a competitive setting before, and I had done 0 prep. I had not even looked at the competitive packet. There was like a change or two that had been made that I didn't even know about, and so I was not like in that mind. Anyways, it ended up being a really good thing. I had a great time, and so I'm glad that I did it. But there's gonna be some gaps in here because I played about like 9 or 10 games of Kill Team in like 36 hours, so there wasn't a ton of downtime. So I'll be filling, connecting the dots and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really glad that I did the tournament, and let me tell you a little bit about it now. So my performance in the championship was not, was not super awesome. I played 3 games instead of the 4 because I was filling in for a drop, and so I lost twice and I won once. But I had a great time in each match, and my first round, it was probably the worst game of Kill Team I think I've ever played in my life. I just did like some horrible rookie mistakes, but the great thing is that I got to play a friend of the channel and a friend of mine, Andrew K, and who is an awesome, he's a monster Compendium Sisters player, and I just got wrecked so hard. It was my first match, and I was like, this is my first competitive game, my first match of the weekend, and I just did some of the dumbest things, like deployment. Anyways, it was bad. I got just totally wrecked. But it was such a enjoyable tabling, probably the most fun I've ever had being tabled. And so that was a great match. Thank you, Andrew, for a great game and a great tabling. And so that was my game 1. But it just kind of felt like the stars had kind of aligned for just to be able to play somebody that I've been talking to for like months now, over the internet and Reddit and Discord and all that kind of stuff. And so that was a great time. I will say, I'm not going to talk too much about the games unless you guys ended up wanting to hear about them. But my one thing that I did in that game that I was just so proud of, might be the favorite thing I've done over the whole entire weekend, is I took a guardsman and I charged him into 4 sisters. They were in this cluster, and I locked them all up. And then they just shortly after they just beat him to death. But it was just like such a YOLO, for the Emperor moment. And then I was able to get some mortar barrage shots that didn't end up doing much. But it was just fun, and we had good laughs, and it was great. So thank you, Andrew, for a great game. And his buddy Ryan was there too. Thanks, Ryan. You were great. Table mate? I don't know. Great third party? I don't know. Anyway, shout out to Ryan. That was a really, really fun match. Then my second match was Wormblade. Oh, sweet, sweet Wormblade. I learned a little bit about Wormblade. So that was a close game. It was I think it was close scoring, but it was also a really close game up until I think we only went to the end of the 3rd or something like that. And it was close, but he was just in that last couple moments, he was able to get me off of the points that I was on and get onto them himself. And so I think his name was Ryan. I think so. Ryan, good match. But that was Wormblade, and then I played Chaos Space Marines, and this guy took the split list, and that was a great match. He really, CSM Trader Space Marines is a good compendium team, but he really made me work for it. I did get the win, and I felt, by the end of turn 2, I really felt like I had it locked in, but honestly, he really did make me work for it, and that was a great game. Again, a lot of laughs, a lot of good times. Should have probably been less laughs than there were for a tournament, but had a great time and learned a lot. And so it was awesome. Like I said, so wasn't the greatest performance, but it was a really good intro to the competitive scene and world of Kill Team, which I am a noob at. And I think I'll try and dip my toe more in that side of things, if not just to get reps in, just to get games in. So yeah, it was a great time, good experience. Everybody, TOs were great. Everybody was awesome, by the way. Really well put together. Just awesome. I really think this being the first tabletop gaming event I've ever been to, and for sure the only kill team event I've ever been to, I'll probably be spoiled if I make it to anything else. In my area, there's not a ton though. I'm super jealous of the guys up there, and this couples, this area. There's like so many different groups that get together and have tournaments that are just too far away for me to get to. But yeah, it was great. It was awesome. Good job, everybody. Great stuff. Thanks a ton. So that's why I ended up not getting the footage that I was going in there to get, but it was worth it, and it was great. I had a great time, and just happy to help out. And like I said, learned a lot. All good things. All good things. All right, I am back, but let's talk about After Dark. The games were much more relaxed, much more casual. More the style that I tend to like. If I'm playing Kill Team, a lot of the time, I like to be able to have some laughs and jokes along the way, and there were tons of those to be had. After Dark, I played Custodes, Nids, and then Grey Knights, and my only loss in After Dark was to Custodes, funnily enough. Like my best video I've ever put out on this channel, if views-wise, was like how to beat Custodes with Compendium Guard, and I lost to Custodes with Compendium Guard. It was awesome. A great guy, great opponent. Thank you for a great game. I had these two. I'm going to blame it on my 2 Melta shots, by the way. If those rolls would have gone differently, the game probably would have gone differently. And but he was a great player, and he despite not having Overwatch, all this kind of stuff, he just he was able to take the win. I had 2 Meltas. My Scion Melta. I was flanking them around this heavy cover because he had no Overwatch shots to take. So my Scion rolls up, unloads. Now this is 3s, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because of Guardsman orders. Rolls 3 2s and a 1. Like, okay, well at least I can reroll this 1 into another 1. Just horrible. Like, okay. And then he's Overwatch. He takes a chunk out of that guy. Then my Guardsman comes around the other side, and I'm like, okay, can't possibly biff again with this Melta. And unloaded my Melta, and all 3s. All 3s and a 2. And it was downhill from there. And because I was able to take out a Custode like early on, but then those 2 guys just totally biffed, and then they just got taken out, and then my line folded, and he was able to get the points. So that was a great game, and just a funny loss there. But it was great. Thanks for a good game, man. Then I played Nids. I was able to beat Nids. That was a really fun game against, I think his name was Sean. Shout out to Sean if you ever watch this. Great match, and Tyranids, I haven't had a ton of experience with Nids. I was able to just be aggressive and chuck some grenades out. I got the win there. And then my last game of After Dark was really fun. I got to play another friend of the channel, Ben H, I believe. I know it's Ben, but I think it's Ben H is your last name. Or, H, whatever that stands for. So if you're watching this, thank you for an awesome game. Ben, he played Grey Knights, and he shared his beef jerky, his meat sticks with me, and and so it was a good time. We had a lot of laughs, and that was a super fun match. And so I was glad I got to play with Ben. Shout out to Ben, great time. And After Dark was awesome, man. I saw some people online saying like, "Oh man, it's too dark. How could you play? That would hurt my eyes." It wasn't bad. There was plenty of light. It was dark. But it was, it was a party. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. And there was, by the way, plenty of light. It worked out fine. So After Dark was great. Had a ton of fun. A little more my speed compared to the championship. And it was awesome. I would definitely recommend if you ever get a chance to go to one of Sheldon's After Darks, definitely do it.
All right, guys. It is 9:10, 9:12. On what is today, Sunday? I don't even know. I don't know what day or time or space I'm in right now. But last night was After Dark. I didn't get to bed until like 3 a.m. And it was so much fun. Maybe the most fun I've ever had playing Kill Team. But I feel great right now, and I'm gonna go eat breakfast, and then it's time for narrative. And I haven't filled out any of my paperwork for
for narrative. I mean, shout out to everybody here. I have done nothing, prepared nothing, been a horrible guest, but everybody's been so cool and nice and chill. Dave has been great. Sheldon's been great. They're all great, man. They're just all awesome. So anyways, I got to get down and eat and then be there at 9:30 for narrative. So catch you later.
Was he within 6 inches of your drop zone? I think he is.
All right, day 2, let's talk narrative. This was something else I had never done before. I never played narrative, never used those rules, so I was unfamiliar. And I kind of fudged my way, stumbled through it, but it was a ton of fun. Again, even just to get the reps in was great, but I also got to, do the narrative for the first time and use the requisition points and all this kind of cool stuff, and it was super fun. I played, what did I play? Ecclesiarchy, Novitiates, and Chaos Space Marines. And the Novitiates was, I got to play George Strom from Strom Plays. I think I'm saying your last name right. And who has a great Warp Coven video, which is kind of what helped me wrap my brain around Warp Coven. And that was a great time. He completely wrecked me, just straight up wrecked me with Novitiates. And I learned a lot about Novitiates. And but it was all George is an absolute sweetheart. If you ever watch this, George, thanks for the great time. Just a great dude. Well, you should check out his channel, by the way. Strom Plays Warp Coven. It's a great video. So it was awesome. And then I ended up winning. Hold on, I have the trophy here.
And then the highly coveted Best Sport Award, also to Ben. This is stacked.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Wow, thank you, man. I'll take your stuff. Get out of my house.
All right, I will.
I won Best Sport for narrative. I was voted Best Sport, and so that was a ton of fun and very cool to get that, and because I try to be a cool, easy person to play with, so that was fun. My brother Sam won Smoking Boots, the coveted Smoking Boots Award for last place, and he played a bunch of goofy games though. He was at that point, I think he had played as much Kill Team as he could stand, and so going into narrative. He ended up just like playing some like kind of like homebrewed some funky rules. He had a good time though, and so he went Smoking Boots and got like a $50 gift card to Pop Goes the Monkey. Along with the trophy, I won a piece of equipment that I get to use at the next narrative event, which for me will probably be KTO because that's about the only one I'll be able to get to travel that far for. And I didn't understand it at the time, so Sheldon, I'm sorry, but I'll get to use it next time. Which I didn't quite understand, but it's very cool and very sweet, and it's like themed out to my kill team. It's an heirloom respirator, and so because I have like these like Vostroyan firstborn conversions, and so they'll be able to climb easier. Whoever I give this equipment to, so it's very cool and it's very thoughtful. And I just want to say thank you, Sheldon, and I'm sorry for my ignorance. I did not understand how it all worked, but thank you. It's very cool and very sweet, and so that was cool that me and my brother took home. Some best sport and last place, and man, it was awesome. We had a great time. Thank you to everybody. Sheldon knows how to put on a good narrative event, man. The whole team. Got to say, I was really spoiled. This being my first, kill team event of any kind. Like I said, I think I'm probably spoiled. I mean, all the guys. David, Sheldon, Steve, Ryan, these guys know what they're doing. It was all handled really well. All the TOs were great. Any questions that I had, I mean, everybody, honestly, it was just better than anything that I had expected. And because Kill Team it's a small community. It's a niche within a niche. And but man, this felt really pro, really like premium. And so I could not be happier with the whole experience. It was just a wonderful time to be had, top to bottom, everything, just awesome. Speaking of narrative, a guy named Joe that I played, at the end of our game, he gave me a goodie bag. It was so sweet and very cool and nice of him. And in it, it really made me smile. It's like a chaos tract, like what you would like a church tract that you would find somewhere. But it's like for the word bearers, and so like on the inside it has like this information, and do you know the emperor may be lying to you? And then over here it has a quote: "Speak the truth, even if your voice shakes, Lorgar." And this is just, I don't know if you made this or if he probably will never watch this. I don't know if you made this or found this somewhere, but it made me smile and it was very cool. Thank you. It's on my desk now forever. So this video didn't quite end up being what I had planned for it to be, but I hope you don't mind because I ended up probably having a better time on my end. I got to just meet and hang out with tons of people. I met tons of friends of the channel, so if you saw me and said hi and we got to talk, listen, that was just the best part. The community, all these things, got to play Kill Team, all this stuff, that was fun. But, the best part was the friends we made along the way. Just getting to meet people that I've been, bumping shoulders in and talking to in Discord for months now. Years, or not years, but, over the past year or so, getting to meet in person. It's like, wait, are you that, it's like, are you that person? Yeah. And so that was just very cool. And so it was awesome. Listen, Kill Team Open. If, next year, spoiler alert, there will be a next year. And I'm very excited about it. I've got a chance to talk to Steve a little bit about it, and I'm very excited. Cool things will be happening, more cool things, and I would absolutely recommend that if you can make a trip. Again, this is in Baltimore, Maryland, and so we flew from Florida, and I am so glad that we did. Just an amazing time, an amazing event, well done on all sides, and this is just, keep in mind, there were also painting classes and kit bashing classes and all this stuff going on that was a side of things I didn't even get to see, right? And there were painting competitions and the prize support. Holy crap, dude, the prize support. People walked out with like armfuls of stuff. Like people, who was it? I forget, but somebody, I think it was Alec. Ended up giving something away to a teenager or a younger kid because he's like, well, I can't fly back on the plane. Like there was so much stuff that people were having to give it away because they couldn't get home with it. So really was, listen, if you love Kill Team, you got to try and be there. It was amazing. And so I hope that we can get more Kill Team content creators there next time around, from different places. But it was a great time. Got to meet everybody and who was there. And so it was tons of fun. I loved it. If you went to Kill Team Open, in the comments, please tell me if you were there. And then, just share. This can be a KTO Love Fest in the comment section. It really felt like, an event that was put on by folks who love Kill Team for other folks who also love Kill Team. And it really was just, passion project from these awesome dudes who are keeping the game alive, right? And it's just really cool to be a part of the first, the best, the biggest Kill Team event. And I have nothing but good things to say and good memories, and I could gush about it forever. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for liking and commenting and subscribing and doing all the things. We have hit 3,000 subscribers, which absolutely just blows me away. Thank you so much for all of that crazy love and support. If you were at KTO, tell me in the comments. If you plan on going next year, tell me in the comments. And let me know, what you loved or, how much it sucked to have to sit home while we were all having so much fun. Just kidding. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Battle Brothers Tabletop, also on, Discord and other Kill Team Discords at Battle Brothers Tabletop. Feel free to shoot me a message if you have any questions or anything. And that's going to do it, guys. Thanks so much. Thank you to everybody who made Kill Team Open possible, the whole team. And, you guys were really awesome. Thank you to Steve and Sheldon and Dave and Ryan and anybody else that I did not name. Thank you guys. On behalf of the Kill Team community, it was wonderful. It was great. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys around.